Honorable Chairperson and colleagues, with respect, let it be known from the onset that I challenge this committee's jurisdiction to investigate matters alleged to have happened outside the principles of Parliament. As such, I am here only out of respect I have for you, honorable colleagues, and this institution, but necessarily not to defend myself. Nevertheless, and only for record purposes, may it also be known that I consider the allegations against me to be malicious, unfounded, and in bad faith. Similarly, these particular proceedings are unfair to me because they are born out of an incurable conflict of interest. To understand why, Mr. Chairperson, I say so, please consider this context. On the 8th of February, 2022, I was shocked and deeply hurt when the Right Honorable Deputy Speaker made a very cruel joke about me as a torture victim. That day, as she presided over a debate about the rampant torture of citizens by security forces, Right Honorable Anita Mong stated that much as Honorable Zaake was tortured, as you have said, he was able to win a gold medal in athletics with a broken leg. Mr. Chairperson and colleagues, those comments are on the Hansard. The Deputy Speaker made them in reference to the recent East African Parliamentary Games, during which I won a gold medal. Even when listened to objectively, those comments suggest that either my Deputy Speaker thinks that I have been lying about being tortured, or that I exaggerated the extent of injuries I suffered on each of the 5 times I have been mercilessly tortured in the last 4 years. Or she meant that torture is a blessing disguise for its victims and in such a trivial matter in this country. Mr. Chairperson and colleagues, some social media comments allegedly respond to the Speaker's insensitive joke have been attributed to me in recent days, although without any technical proof that I made them. It is on account of that alleged but unproven social media response that the same Deputy Speaker who made fun of my pain and humiliation referred me to this committee for trial in courts. It is also on account of that alleged response that my honorable colleagues, especially from the ruling party, are now mobilizing themselves into a vicious mob to lynch me on the floor of Parliament, in a session that will be presided over by the same Deputy Speaker, regardless of the outcome of these proceedings. To them, Honorable Chair, apparently the alleged response claimed to have been made by me is worse than the several occasions I have left lying on the court floor in a pool of my own blood after a session of torture. So I hope you understand when I say that I believe these proceedings are not intended to establish the truth. Their purpose is to note the rope which the mob, after lynching me, will hang me to fit the narrative that I committed suicide. As a member of the political opposition in this country, that is a narrative I have painfully borne on more occasions than any law-abiding citizen would wish to. So how soon they lynch me is up to their conscience. For I have made peace with that fate, and my conscience is clear. After all, I was already found guilty of these allegations, even before the matter first came up on the floor of Parliament. Honorable Chair, on the 11th of February, my security detail, to which I am entitled as a Commissioner of Parliament, was unceremoniously withdrawn without any explanation. That was my first punishment, Mr. Chairperson. Mr. Chairperson and colleagues, I was already a member of Parliament on all occasions that I have been tortured by national security officers. On 3 of those occasions, I was tortured by members of the Special Forces Command, the SFC, the military outfit that guards Mr. Yoweri Museveni and some leaders of Parliament. For context, Mr. Chairperson, please allow me to speak about each of them. The first one, Honorable Chair, in September 2017, I was attacked and beaten into coma by members of the Uganda People's Defense Forces This happened right on the floor of this parliament. SFC soldiers broke into my hotel room in Arua district. They punched me, kicked me, clobbered me with big sticks, cut me with gun bayonets. They plucked flesh and nails off my body using pliers, and then dragged me down the stairs before dumping me at a police station to die. In April 2020, while at home in my constituency, police and military officers led by RPC Bob Kagalula and DPC Mwin Alex Mukono broke into my bedroom, beat me, handcuffed me, and then dragged me by the trousers out of my house when my children, wife, and mother watching in terror. In the next moments, Honorable Chair, the officers emptied a can of pepper spray into my eyes and then chained my legs and hands together while they clobbered me. They suspended my body in space beneath the seats of a police truck and then drove me from Mityana to Kampala in agonizing pain. Every now and then during that dreadful journey, the officers stayed above me would poke me with sharp objects while mocking and laughing at me. Once in Kampala, they detained me in Communicado in a safe house for more than a week. During that time, they subjected me to a daily beating using objects, including what felt like a big stick lined with barbed wire. Honorable Chair, in court in HSMC number 85 of 2020, confirmed that I was tortured, but refused to hold accountable the men who violated me. The fourth time, it was in January 2021, I was brutalized and left unconscious by soldiers outside the home of my president, Kyagulanyi Robert Sentamu, whom I had gone to visit while in detention at his home after the 2021 presidential elections. Honorable Chair, the most recent incident happened a few weeks ago on 14th December 2021. On that day, SFC soldiers attacked me as I campaigned for my fellow party member, Mrs. Harriet Nakwede, who was contesting for the position of LC5 chairperson in Kayunga district. They mercilessly flogged me and that defenseless lady using thick electric wires and long sticks and koni, commonly used to herd cattle. It should be noted, Honorable Chair, that even if I was already a commissioner of this parliament by that time, Parliament did not even bother to investigate that incident. So, Mr. Chairperson and colleagues, if you were the victims of this repeated torture, as I am, you would understand how hurt and furious I felt watching my speaker making a mockery of the life-threatening torture I have repeatedly suffered without justice. This is someone with whom I sit in the parliamentary commission meetings. She has an opportunity to see from close range the deep multiple scars of torture I have on my body that even otherwise dark-skinned complexion I cannot hide. The multiple instances of torture have left me with haunting post-traumatic stress disorder, Mr. Chairperson. I can no longer fall asleep with the lights off, let alone without music playing. I can no longer stand with the soles of my feet firmly fixed on the ground. My children now stand with their feet twisted at an angle because, in their innocence, they think it is cool to stand that way. Honorable Chair and colleagues, I've had to incur medical expenses over and beyond my parliamentary insurance cover. I have spent several agonizing weeks in hospital undergoing treatment after being tortured, which has traumatized my wife and children. Despite going through all that, Honorable Chair, I constantly get cruel remarks from government officials and security spokespersons asserting that I fake the torture. The last person I expected surely such cruelty from is my Speaker of Parliament, because she's a wife, a mother, and the head of an institution that she should be doing everything possible to help to rehabilitate me, not instead of victimizing me further. If you were me, you would understand how hard it is for me to think that she should be the one appearing before this committee, Honorable Chair, but not me. Nevertheless, I forgive her, Honorable Chair. I forgive her not just for making fun of my plight, but also I forgive her for the mob justice she's about to preside over against me. Honorable Chair, I submit, and I request my lawyer to continue from right there. I thank you.
Matters regarding the law. You can't
raise any matter regarding the facts, because you are not a witness, but matters regarding the law as they relate to the statement which your client has made. Fair enough?
Most obliged. Chairman and honorable members.
You are being recorded.
Most obliged.
So first of all, your name.
For the record, and if it will please this committee, Aaron Chiza, appearing for the respondent in this matter, who is a multiple torture victim, Honorable Zaake.
Can you say you're appearing for the Honorable Zaake? These respondents, applicants, what, leave them to the other forum.
I appear for Honorable Francis Zaake,
yes,
a multiple torture victim, alongside Benjamin Katana, my comrade. Indeed, as you have guided, Honorable Chairman, we shall stick religiously to a few matters of the law that we hope we can conclude very swiftly. Your Honorable Chairman, as Honorable Zaake commenced his statement, which has been widely circulated to the committee, we have two prayers to make. One is that we strongly object to the suggestion that this committee, or indeed any other committee of Parliament, has jurisdiction to entertain a matter regarding social media allegations of a member of Parliament. And for that reason, we will request that in the interest of fairness, envisioned under Article 42, under Article 28, and under Article 44 of the National Constitution, which are the primary guides of this committee as an administrative organ of Parliament and government, and as a quasi-judicial institution that the chairman described it earlier as, that we be afforded the opportunity as lawyers who were briefed by the Honorable Zaake this very morning to put in our written submissions on the question of jurisdiction only, and be given the elections. And if it will please the chairman and the committee, we'll ask for, just in addition to today, only 2 days to conclude that business, and we should be able to receive a ruling after that on that question, because, Honorable Chairman, jurisdiction is everything, and we need to make a thorough presentation on why we think that a Parliament committee, especially this very one, should not involve itself and entertain matters on whether or the content of what MPs are alleged to have tweeted on Twitter, posted on Facebook, posted on TikTok or Instagram or Snapchat or any other matter. Yeah, so for avoidance of doubt, we are requesting for an opportunity to put in written submissions. We ask for 3 days, and we shall be good. We received instructions from Honorable Zaake this morning, and that's why we are not able to put in the submissions in writing. But the importance, the paramountness of this matter is such that we need to balance between urgency and the need to ensure a fair, fair and adequate defense of our client. We so pray.
He's my senior.
Okay.
That's why he spoke first, Mr. Chairman. And distinguished members of the committee, we believe that the point of law, which we seek to substantiate properly through written submissions, has such a huge bearing on the entire proceedings of this committee. And especially considering that the complainants suffer no prejudice when we are given an opportunity to make these submissions. We pray that this committee be pleased to give us just a little time to do so.
Who is the complainant in this matter?
Whoever complained for the matter come to the
Don't
committee.
say that. Who is the complainant in this matter?
Just to answer that question, is that there are two sets of complainants in this case. Chairman, there is the real complainant, is the Deputy Speaker of this Parliament, and there are Trojan horses, whom are mentioned in the correspondence. Yeah.
Procedure, Chair.
Just one. No. Let me sort that out. First of all, I would like us to act professionally, especially to the lawyers. We act by the record. And when I asked you who is the complainant, it was a deliberate question. If you talk about horses and me, I see goats, then I don't see us making any progress. Whoever complained, is on record, and we communicated to the Honorable Zaake, the complainants. If you are looking for horses, you may not find them in this committee. You get it? So that's why I was asking Council, who, according to you, is the complainant? Because I see a little bit of it in the statement of facts. When you look at the statement of fact given by the Honorable Zaake, the complainants whom we've communicated to him and given him the answer are not mentioned anywhere. Instead, we just see another complainant who is not a complainant in this committee. That's number one. Number two, when you look at this statement, I've just been trying to follow it. It is talking about Honorable Zaake, I have made peace and that faith and my conscience is clear, and is talking about the process of, I think, impeachment, alleged impeachment. I have directed in this committee that we are not concerned with the impeachment process. We don't want to hear of it in this because we are not party to it. And I've told my colleagues here, including the complainants, that they should not indulge us in any impeachment process. It is not part of these proceedings, the Honorable Zaake. And I'm sure your lawyers should be listening to this. The Honorable Zaake, if you may listen, because this is quite important. These proceedings are not in any way concerned with the impeachment. And anybody who has tried to bring the issue of impeachment, we have thrown him out. We have also decided as a committee that anybody who has involved himself or herself in that process of impeachment, and there is evidence, will not be party to these proceedings. Why? Because we are acting professionally and transparently and fairly. If you are out there and you have been involved in what you are saying, then you can't be party to this. And that we have made is a decision taken. And I see you say you've resigned your fate. That has nothing to do with this committee. The mob you are talking about, it has nothing to do with us. Let us look at what we communicated. Let us look at the case of the complainant as we communicated to you. That's what we are concerned with. These other ones, we can't be concerned with them, the Honorable Zaake. Third, and which I see 3/4 of your statement is relating to your torture. And let me tell you, it would be absurd if we do anything that, let me find the correct English word. Unfortunately, I don't have a lawyer these days. Yeah, what happened to who? That was on the right side, colleagues. We cannot be seen here to be doing something that will be supportive of torture. We can't do this. And all of us as Parliament, and I would like to say I speak on their behalf, except those who will say no, we really sympathize with the Honorable Zaake for what he has written here and what we have read and seen on television. We do. But what do we do now? Because this is another process, Honorable Zaake. We are not here to go into that torture, which we really sympathize with you with real utmost faith, good faith. So the point I'm trying to make is, yes, there is a lot of material on how you were tortured, and we really sympathize. But does the committee have jurisdiction to go into this now that you are even raising about torture and jurisdiction? Do we do? And I like it to you, to the lawyers, as they raise the objection, really to find themselves and get well versed with the rules of procedure of Parliament. The mandate of this committee. We even, by the way, we don't have what you lawyers call, we can't move on our own motion. On any business, this committee can only move on business as passed to it by the Speaker or the House, not on our own. So raising other issues outside those which we have been given, it doesn't help because we have no jurisdiction over. The only jurisdiction we have are those that have been passed to us by the House. Having said so, I think let me allow my colleagues to come in, and then I'll guide on later on what the lawyers of the Honorable Zaake have said.
I really put my prayers to the committee and all the members here that let us try and avoid this issue to turn into party politics. I don't think it is the issue of this committee to solve party politics. And we as a committee are looking at Zaake as an individual, not on the outskirts of which party he belongs to. And that will be the basis of our recommendation. To the point, Honorable Zaake mentions that we do not have the jurisdiction to handle this matter. If you could highlight, where does he think he should be appearing for this court, for this hearing, if we do not have that jurisdiction, please. And then just lastly, I pray that we stick in a procedural matter to hear from Zaake, Honorable Zaake and his lawyers only, because if we go on hearing from all the witnesses he has brought, who are not members of this committee, and then this hearing may actually become much longer. Thank you very much.
Yes?
On the matter on the floor. No. There is a procedural matter on the floor. And if you are rising on another procedural matter, you have to wait.
Okay, over
Because
that.
you must resolve one before you jump on the other.
Chair, I would love to.
Isn't that fair enough?
Yes, it is, Chair.
Okay.
Whereas, Chair, you have rightly guided that matter of censure should not be discussed in the committee, and you have actually cautioned your committee members and asked whoever's engaged him or himself or herself into the matter of censure should actually should leave matters should leave this matter to the rest of the other members. You have not actually gone ahead to ask your committee members whether they are any of those that have engaged themselves. It was brought to your attention, Chair, that some of your committee members have actually signed some censure motion or list that's moving around, but you have not asked the committee members to pronounce themselves whether they have actually engaged themselves or they have signed any document, and we are proceeding. So, Chair, I actually don't know whether you have the right people you want here, because you actually excluded some of your members earlier on.
Do I have the right people? Yes. And why do I think so? I am not going to evidence hunting. I'm limited to the evidence which is in the committee. I'm not going to go to the streets or to go outside there and say, all the corridors, I say, where is the petition, who signed it? I mean, Parliament cannot work that way. If there is any petition which I don't know, and somebody says, yes, so-and-so signed, I've already set the standard. You are not participating. But before that is brought, you are telling me to go around and say, who signed? Where did you sign? Is there a petition? And I can't do that. I can't do that. Unless there is a petition that is going to be brought to this committee, and they say, Honorable X, Y, and Z signed and is here, then I've already set the standard. Am I clear? Unless I get that, Honorable colleague, don't expect this committee to go around in the corridors to say, where is the petition? Who knows? Which petition is this are you talking about? Is it anywhere on the record? I don't know. And this is the law. And even these lawyers, I'm sure, who are here know that this is the law. And I'm a stickler to the law. Anybody who knows about the petition and knows so and so signed, bring it, and we take, and the decision actually has already been taken. Next. Yes, the honorable hearing of this document on your sustain. Let's resolve this, then we can't go into that. That could be the next stage. That we are going to resolve it, whether we have jurisdiction or not. But we are stuck at a certain point because the lawyers raise the issue of jurisdiction, but they don't go ahead and submit on it. And they are saying that they need time to go and sort themselves out or justify why they think we don't have jurisdiction. I think that's the point. Okay? So we are going to resolve it. One or the other, we are going to resolve it. Be sure we are going to resolve it. If they had come and gone into details, say, we don't have jurisdiction because us as a committee, because of A, B, C, D, we would resolve it here and now. To say what you are saying does not make legal sense. We have jurisdiction. But they are saying they need time. Did you say what?
Yes, Honorable Chair.
That they need time to go and sort themselves out with the books. And then they come and submit on it. That's what they are saying. And you know the reason why they are saying that we don't have jurisdiction? If I got him correct, is that, what did he say? Oh, it's in the Honorable Zaake's, okay. Whatever comment has been made where outside the precincts of the House, that Parliament or committees don't have what? Jurisdiction. I think that's the point they are raising. Yes?
Honorable Chairman and distinguished members of the committee, that is not matter. That's why we seek your indulgence.
No.
Give us time.
Listen, Council.
Exactly.
The good thing, the pilot has a little bit of experience on those things you are trying to raise. That's number one. The point you have raised is jurisdiction. And that is what we are going to resolve. If you have other points to raise, that has nothing to do with us now. Because if you have, it is your business. Or you'll bring it at the appropriate time. The issue we are raising now, what you lawyers call objection, preliminary objection, is jurisdiction. And we have to resolve that. So these are the issues we are not concerned.
With the indulgence, Honorable Chairman, it's not on other issues. It's on the same issue. My colleague submitted before this committee that the Honorable Zaake instructed us this morning. And we are only seeking
What are your
time
instructions?
to come and represent him before the committee.
What are your instructions? You came to seek for an adjournment.
We made a prayer for an adjournment to make written submissions on the issue that we have raised, Honorable Chairman. And I don't think that our prayer is outside the law.
No, your prayer is not outside the law. How, did you read the letter your client wrote to this committee? Just 1 second. Did you read the letter your client wrote to this committee?
Maybe, Mr. Chairman.
Did you read it?
Yes, we did.
What did he send that letter? He sought
adjournment to appear
because he was sorting out the representations.
Benjamin, if I could emphasize that, the thing is that the representation, the instructions him and I received was this morning, shortly after my breakfast. I need time.
You are not fasting.
I'll fast next time, Honorable Chairman. We just received this instruction this morning. We have not even sorted this from that correspondence, and to give life and meaning to his right to a lawyer of his choice and to adequate facilities to present his matter, especially the question, the contest of jurisdiction. That's why we are praying for time, and according to an adjournment that will give us 3 days, and we give you...
You started with the 2, now you're going to 3.
No, I said 2 days after today.
No. Please, let us be consistent, because if you are inconsistent, then it shows unseriousness.
No, we shall take the 2 days.
Yeah. Please take this committee serious. I want lawyers who act in good faith and they are consistent.
No, we do.
When you submit this letter to this committee and you actually say that you do not think jurisdiction, then I'm sure you would have got the lawyer's advice on the reason why. So did you actually write this letter with your lawyer's approval, or it was your own writing? Thank you.
Colleagues, it is true that the Honorable Francis Zaake wrote to us, and in that letter, I quote, I therefore request that the committee reschedules the planned interaction to Monday 28th. Monday 28th was not a date given by the committee. Monday 28th was a date requested for by the Honorable Zaake. And the reason he requested for this date was to give me ample time to seek and secure legal representation as well as engage in other consultations. So the council should know that this date was not given by this committee. This date was sought by you, by the Honorable Zaake, or by the Honorable Zaake. Having said that, the issue of jurisdiction is so important that if anybody thinks we are doing something without powers, I think we should find a way of resolving it and resolving it properly. We are not going to be unreasonably rigged. However, I don't think we shall give you the 3 or so days. We are going to give you 1 day. so that you sort this problem out. And you bring your reasons as to why you think we have no jurisdiction. But let me tell you as you go, because now Article 94 of the Constitution, subject to the provisions of the Constitution, Parliament may make rules to regulate its own procedure, including the procedure of its committees. The only law you quote to us about jurisdiction would be the Constitution of Uganda and the rules of procedure. Nothing beyond it. Why? Because the rules of procedure can only be subjected to the Constitution. If we are breaching the Constitution, or we are breaching the rules of what? Of procedure. Because Parliament is being regulated from Article 94 to the rules themselves. And when you go to the rules themselves, I would like also to address your mind to
May I seek your indictment? No, that's why I'm seeking it before you finish.
yes.
My considered view, and very respectfully, is that we do not restrict those that want to bring material to us. I appreciate the guidance we are trying to give them, but I want to avoid the situation where they say we were gagged. May you find it in your pleasure, sir, that you let people to write whatever they want, and when we read it as Parliament, we make our decision.
Okay.
It is my humble view, sir.
Members sit on other committees, but at the same time, we also have a time. This is a matter to impeach the conduct of a member of Parliament is so important. It's a national important issue. So a matter of national importance. For you to start hiding in written things, I think that's wrong. You come here and we do our work publicly.
For the record, Honorable Chair, we are not seeking to hide. That's why we are here. But the committee has expressed need to handle the matter expeditiously, to save time, and we are trying to
No,
do what we are.
That to us.
But we have no problem coming to make
You
our
leave
submissions.
that as you'll submit.
Honorable Chairman.
You'll submit if you have any written submission, or you are just going to you'll read it.
We have no objection.
Honorable Chairman, we shall do both.
No, it's not you shall do both. It is us to decide what you will do. Counsel, please. Since when did the lawyers decide? How we shall do?
Honorable Chairman, we pray we are...
Can you benefit from my seniority,
yes,
please?
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So we pray to do both.
So we just give them one day to go and sort themselves out. But all the issues you raise, please raise them on the microphone. Because we don't want what you are calling Trojan horses. No. Everything is going to be done here. So this issue about horses, donkeys, please leave your donkeys there and come. All right, yeah. So we adjourn, we give them up to when? What time? 11 o'clock. 11. We're going to give you Wednesday. That's the day after tomorrow. That's one day tomorrow. 2, if you have a written submission, it should be with the clerk by the close, not of tomorrow. No. We are going to give you that written submission of yours can be with the clerk by 4 p.m. tomorrow. And the clerk, can you have that document circulated on our forum? Okay? By 5. And if we don't receive it by by 4 tomorrow, you'll be caught by time. Okay?
In which case, Mr. Chairman, we hope we'll be allowed to come and make the oral submission that the committee so wishes to have.
Sorry?
Honorable Chair, in the most unlikely event that we do not submit the written submissions by 4, does that preclude us from the process, or we will come and make the oral submissions?
I have adjourned and I've made a ruling. I'm not going to be making rulings and rulings. The ruling or guidance I've given is that if you have any written submission, it should be submitted to the clerk by